Peace and blessings, soul family. I love you all. I hope everyone's doing well. Today I was going to do a little bit of story time. So I was going to discuss my very first Kundalini experience and how it was just not what I expected at first. So before we get into it, I want to say there's a very, very specific reason why when you're going through initiation and you're preparing yourself for the Kundalini experience, that you do a lot of yoga, you get the body healthy, you got to live that Ayurvedic lifestyle, make sure that your body can actually handle the energy, because it definitely messes with your central nervous system. And if you're prepared for it, it's very powerful, and you'll be able to contain it and hold it and keep that energy alive within inside of you. But if you have not been preparing for it and you're basically just jumping into it without any initiation and without any preparation, most importantly the preparation, then it can be a scary experience. So the time that I had my first experience was about 7 or 8 years ago, and shout out to Travis Magus. He had found like a guided mantra meditation where they were going through the bija mantras for each of the chakras: Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Hum, Om. So going up through the chakras, it's chanting, and you basically chant along with it and do the breath work and just visualize. And actually at that time I wasn't even visualizing, because maybe a few minutes into it, I think I was around the sacral plexus, or the sacral or the solar plexus. And when it started happening, I started getting a very, very familiar feeling. And it was not a nice feeling. So I don't know if any of you have ever had any addictions or anything that you've dealt with, but very specifically opiate withdrawal. Whenever you go without your medication or without the opiate substance, then you go into horrific withdrawals to where, like, you're shaking, you're sweating, you're having hot flashes. It's not a pleasant feeling. It's an absolutely horrible feeling. And that very first time that I actually did activate my Kundalini was frightening, man. And I just didn't make any sense to me, because I'd already been clean for a few years, and I'm like, why am I feeling this all over again? Like, this isn't fun. This isn't what I was wanting. I was like, this is the exact opposite of what I wanted. I was like, I was expecting some blissful, transcendent experience to where, I'm just leave the body and I'm in ultimate enlightenment, but that was not what happened. So, like I said, make sure that you guys do the proper preparations before you actually get involved with any type of stimulation of the chakras and the Kundalini, with bija mantras specifically. There's a reason why the bija mantras, even though they're out there and you can find books with them and stuff like that, it's preferred that you have initiation from a guru, so that when you start having these crazy experiences, you have somebody to go to that can make sense of it to you, because it definitely didn't make no sense to me. Mushroom. But yeah, this video is just story time and a little bit of a warning. Since then, many years, because see, when I actually did that, like I said, it was about 7 years ago, and I had already been walking the left-hand path for a little while, but I was much more in the Western mindset of the left-hand path, and I hadn't even studied Vama Marga yet and learned the traditional left-hand path. So yeah, I had no idea what I was doing, and it literally scared the living shit out of me. But yeah, now that I have a regular yoga practice, regular meditation practice, regular japa practice where I'm chanting mantra, yeah, like it's a piece of cake now. It actually is a blissful experience. It is that transcendent rising in energy, and then eventually leading you to the spaciousness of the void. So, when you get into deep stages of meditation, different stages of samadhi, it's wild, because it's literally like you disappear, and it's such a beautiful feeling too, because right as you're your brain starts moving through alpha waves and theta waves and stuff like that. As it's moving out of beta brain waves, then you start to feel this expansion, and it really feels like you're actually melting into the room around you. That's why they say it's expansive, because you literally feel like the boundaries between you and everything surrounding you is like dissolving. So yeah, and that's a wild experience, to get to a place where your awareness is there, but your body and even mostly your mind isn't there. It's just that pure awareness. So make sure that if you guys are trying to stimulate your Kundalini, don't go into it without the knowledge of what you're supposed to be doing, because it definitely can be a horrible experience. Yeah, most people after experiencing that would be like, never again. But actually, that's what really stimulated my curiosity and made me go and look at the traditions to where the Kundalini originates from, which is over in Bharat, India. And so yeah, this is just a little warning for everybody. But yeah, it's a beautiful experience. And so I really believe that every human being should experience it. But you just want to experience it with the right state of mind, you know what I'm saying? And the right state of your body, because that's the most important part. Back then I was like horribly out of shape, didn't exercise hardly at all, no yoga, no any type of practice that would actually get the body prepared. And also around that time, I was still, 7 years ago, I'd say I was probably still drinking sodas and eating tons of processed food that's just like garbage for the body. So it's no wonder I had this experience like I was in shit health. But now that I've been living that Ayurvedic lifestyle, it's a completely different experience. I love you guys. I hope everyone has a blissful day today. I'll be back to talk to you guys again later. Peace.